If you're about to start a new website in 2021, just like my case study website that I'm going to be giving away, should you be relying 100% on Google organic traffic? Are there any genuine alternatives that you can do right from day one? And should you implement these on your website? So let's take a look at the options. Hi and welcome back to my channel again. I hope you've had a lovely Christmas. It's the 28th of December here and I'm just starting to get back to my computer. I've had 3 days off, spent a lot of time watching box sets and eating lots of food. It's been a lovely, relaxing 3 days and it's now time for me to start getting back to working, back to producing videos and publishing content. But whilst I've had these 3 days off, I've not been totally neglecting my business. I have been thinking about the new website case study that I'm starting on January the 2nd. So if you've not heard about that, if you've not seen that, head over to carlbroadbent.com, click the little menu that says giveaway, and you'll see there that I am going to build a new website throughout the course of 2021 for a 12 months period, grow the website up to where it's earning hopefully a decent amount of money, and then give that website away to one lucky viewer. So if you want to take part in that, just head over to carlbroadbent.com and just submit your email address so I'm able to pick a winner. So with this case study giveaway, what I'm going to do is get you guys involved as much as possible. So the first video that I bring out will be searching and researching for a niche. And at the end of every video I'm going to try and bring out like maybe a poll under my community tab where we can decide together, like, so for instance on the niche, we'll have a look at various niches, we'll look at the pros and cons of different niches, monetization, traffic numbers, and then we'll decide via a poll under my community tab which one we're actually going to go for. And then we'll do the same with the next video when we look for finding a domain name and setting up the actual theme on the website. Again, we'll do a poll, we'll find 4 or 5 different unique domain names that are available, and then we'll do a poll to see which one you guys choose and which ones you think's the best. And that way it's, I think, a fairer way to produce a website, because after all it's going to be one of you who actually wins the website and owns the website, and I want that website to be built on a really good foundation. So I believe that opening it up to a poll and an opinion would be the best way to go about it. So I've been relaxing at home and I've been thinking about this website, and I've been thinking, should we be relying 100% on Google traffic? Now, I always say Google is our landlord. Google is the place we go to rent space in their business, and we rely on it heavily. Organic traffic through history has always been one of the most reliable sources of traffic, and also an easy way to get income coming in without having to pay for the traffic. But there's also other options we can use, and I just wanted to actually head over to the computer and show you an example of something we could use. So with all these niches that we're going to be looking at, I want to try and find niches that are suitable for other alternatives, not just Google traffic. So things like YouTube channels or Pinterest. So with all these niches, I want to look and see if we can find an alternative to Google as well, to run side by side with Google, so that if we do ever have any issues with Google, if it rolls out another core update and it negatively affects this site, then we could possibly jump over to our secondary source of traffic and really focus on that and pull that up to balance out any effects that we might see if Google does do anything silly in 2021. Now, these sources can be anything from YouTube channel, Pinterest account, or even a Facebook account. Now, I know a lot of people might think Facebook, is dead in the water, it doesn't do much, but trust me, I have a friend who earns over $10,000 a month just from a Facebook group. So there are still alternatives there, and Facebook is another option where paid traffic is very easy to actually do and implement, and it'd be great for a case study. We can easily run some campaigns and see if we have any results, and often those signals from these social media channels, even paid signals over to the website, shows Google that it is getting a bit of love on social media, and it can actually kickstart a website and give it a bit of a boost. Even if you're not going to do it long term, it is something that is often very good just to do for a couple of months. So Facebook might be an option. Pinterest is another one, and YouTube's another one. And again, we're going to look for niches that we could possibly use one of these alternatives as well as Google. So the majority of the website will be based around content, and it will be focusing on Google organic traffic, but I'd like to have that security net and that backup of having one of these alternative sources of traffic just in case we need it. Now, to give you an example of this, I have a Pinterest account on one of my websites, hutchandcage.com, and I've been running that Pinterest account now for around 15 months, something like that. Now, in the initial 2 or 3 months, it was myself building the Pinterest account up, unsuccessfully, not very good. And then I hired a VA, which cost me around £100, so around $130, $135, something like that, a month. And for that, the boards was optimized correctly, more boards was added, pins was added each month, and the VA would reach out to these different groups, that sharing groups that have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers, and she would reach out to them and get our pins posted on their boards as well. So Pinterest was a really focused area for me in 2020 on this one particular site. And what I wanted to show you is the effects that you can have several months later, even when you stop focusing on it. And we saw some good success on it. It went from anything from around 3,000-4,000 organic visitors a month to the site, up to about 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 sometimes at its maximum. I mean, at one point we were getting like 1 million impressions a month, which drove about 6,000 people over to the website. But what I wanted to show you is the long-lasting effect of that. So if you take a look at the screen now, you can actually see the Pinterest boards that we created. And as you can see, I think, I haven't counted, but there's around 25 to 30 different boards. And there's also some group boards on there. Like I said, the group boards are really, really valuable there. That's where all the traffic is, and that's where you need to get your pins. You need to get them on them really popular group boards, because to be part of a group board, you do have to promise that you will share other people's pins. So all the 20 or 30 members that are on that board and running that board have to actually share your pins out to other people each month. And it's a really good way of seeing some traffic numbers increasing pretty quickly. So, but what I wanted to tell you about this board is if we have a look at the analytics and take a look now, you can see that this Pinterest board, even though I've not actually worked on it now for probably 5 or 6 months, I've not actually touched it. I let the VA go to do other things, and this account has now been sat dormant for about 5 or 6 months. But yet, look at the numbers, it still brings in a significant amount of organic traffic. And this is classed as organic traffic, and this is traffic that really Google sees, understands that it's traffic coming from a natural source. It's not paid, it's not being promoted, it's just people seeing your pin, clicking over and reading your content. It's as good as any traffic that you can get. That website is actually heavily focused with ads, and it's run by Mediavine. And one of Mediavine's selling points for me was their social media group, their Facebook group. And when you're a part of that, you get to meet some really successful people that do affiliate marketing and blogging every day and have done it for years and years and years. Now on that platform, I've met some fantastic people, and some people that actually focus 100% of their time and effort on Pinterest. And I was talking to a lady recently, hence a kind of reason why I'm making this and thinking about these alternative sources of traffic. She writes articles, publishes them, and then forgets about them and just focuses on Pinterest. And she gets over 500,000 searches a month from Pinterest alone. That's not to say her Google traffic isn't significant. She didn't share the numbers on that, but I would suggest it's probably 200,000 or 300,000 at least. But she gets 500,000 visitors a month just from Pinterest. Now that traffic pays exactly the same. She makes the same ad revenue that she gets from Mediavine from that Pinterest traffic, just the same as she would get from a Google search traffic. The earnings per thousand are exactly the same, and she earns the same sort of money from the traffic from Pinterest as she does from Google. It's mind-blowing. And the thing is, like she said, she's always got this backup that if Google isn't showing her any love, she heavily focuses on Pinterest. And it's the same in the reverse. If Pinterest drops off, if she loses some of those #1 slots for her most successful pins, she goes over and she focuses on Google, producing more written content rather than pins. So it got me thinking we could do the same. We can look for a niche that actually works in both Google organic traffic, but also on either Pinterest or YouTube or Facebook. So I'm really excited about that. It gives us an alternative. It gives us something we can focus on. Obviously, I'll be producing a ton of written content for the site. That's granted. That's given. You know, I'm hoping 85% of our traffic will be Google organic search, but then certainly I'd like to get 15, 20, 25% backup traffic from somewhere like YouTube or Pinterest. So it's getting very, very close to the launch date. I'm hoping to get the first video out on January the 2nd, where we will go niche hunting. And like I say, we'll then put it to a vote so that you guys have a say in what website we build. So if you're not already part of it, head over to carlbroadbent.com, sign up for that email newsletter, and then you'll be entered into the giveaway. So getting close, I'm excited, hope you are too. Please leave some comments below. Do you think we should go for some alternative traffic? Do you think we should look at Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook? Do you think we should look at those as an alternative to Google? It's not going to be 100% alternative to Google, because I still believe Google's our landlord, Google's our property owner, and that's where we will do the best. But often I fall in and out of love with Google. I'm sure you do, and Google often falls in and out of love with us. And I do think we should have a reassurance of some backup, and I think we should have that alternative to look elsewhere and not rely 100% on Google. So thanks for joining me. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, click the like button if you like the video, and the little bell notification icon so that next time I bring a new video out, you won't miss out. And I hope you join me in my series, January 2nd, when we launch the niche website giveaway. I'm looking forward to it. See you soon.